Hi sweet friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy you're here for another decorating video, and today we're going to be decorating the kitchen for summer. I'm so excited. I have all the pieces that I plan on using in the kitchen, and it's a mix of older as well as some new pieces that I'm so excited to share with you all. I did purchase this mister this year. I fell in love with the gold detail on the top as well as the design on the bottle, and this was $12.99 from a local garden shop. Next are these muted, almost terracotta pots. I love them. One's a little bit bigger than the other, but I think just the detailing on the edge is so pretty, almost that scallop shape. So I cannot wait to use those. And then I got these oven mitts from the thrift store. I love the blue striping on these. They're going to go perfect in the kitchen. I purchased this pitcher last year from HomeSense. I love the rattan detailing. I never got to use it, so I'm definitely excited to style this. And when I was out shopping a few weeks ago, I came across this cute little berry basket in this gorgeous sage green. I thought it would look so pretty filled with eggs. I definitely didn't need to purchase any more trays, but I love trays. I feel like they just kind of anchor your decor. So I fell in love with the scallop basket. This was $16.99. And then I found this really small scalloped basket. This was $9.99. And I knew that I would probably incorporate these in the kitchen on a little vignette. When I saw this pot at the store, I absolutely fell in love with it. I love that darker blue pattern. It was only $9.99, and I was envisioning adding some greenery to this and displaying it in the kitchen. I did purchase this gorgeous pitcher last year from the thrift store for only $3.99. I never got around to using it, but I am so excited to use it this year. And then another find this year was this fresh cut lilac hand soap from Bath & Body Works, and it smells so amazing. So I did take down all my spring and Easter decor, and I actually only did it a few days ago. I was really procrastinating taking everything down, not only because I really loved it, but it just is a lot of work changing decor seasonally. So I finally got around to taking everything down and got the kitchen all cleaned. I have my little helper Holstein here. He's just sunbathing because it is an absolutely gorgeous day. So let's get started on the decorating. When I decorate on the island, I typically love to use a basket. That way, if we're doing any kind of food prep or hosting, I can easily move this. And I thought it would be so fun to layer in this French country tray. I love the softness that it brings. I have this really wispy wreath. I think it adds a lot of dimension, and I love the pop of purple that it brings to this tray. And I'm going to layer in this really pretty bird cage just on top. I got this from Michael's last year, and I absolutely love it. For something different, I thought I would layer in this plate on the bottom of the bird cage. I love these little plates. I got 4, and they were only 50 cents each at the thrift store. I could not pass them up. I think these little terracotta pots are probably some of my favorite purchases this summer. They're so pretty and versatile, and to me they just say spring and summer. I love it with the addition of the greenery. I was kind of struggling to get this in the bird cage. It was a tight fit, but I managed to get it in, and I absolutely love the look of that greenery in the bird cage. And to give it a little bit more of a French country feel, I just tied some ribbon on it, and I think the white just pops off the gray. I would say that my favorite color right now is this soft sage green. I think it's so elegant and pretty and soft and just perfect for this time of year. I wanted to add some eggs to this little container, and it almost feels like you went out to your garden and got some eggs for your breakfast. I just love the look. And then to bring a little bit of a vintage feel, I'm adding this gorgeous concrete bird. I got this from Michael's a few years ago, and I love the grays with the purples and the greens. To me, it definitely says summer. You guys will have to let me know in the comments what colors you're using, and if you started your summer decorating or if you're still holding on to spring decor for a while longer. I did purchase these gorgeous green placemats this year. It was a set of 6 for $16.99, and I plan to use some on my dining room table also. But I love these, again in that really soft muted green, and so perfect for the summer season. You guys will have to let me know if you use chargers when you're decorating your tablescapes. I absolutely love them. I got these from Michael's this year in their spring collection, and they almost look like a big daisy or flower to me with the scalloped edges. And then these soft blue plates I used last year and thought they would work so well with the green and purple this year. I still can't believe I got these little plates for 50 cents each. I've really been loving going thrifting lately. Let me know in the comments if you found any good deals when you've been out thrifting lately. I feel like it's very hit and miss where I go, but that was definitely a great bargain. And then I'm going to add these little lavender stems. These were from Michael's last year, and I love that pop of purple against the blue. Moving over to the sink, I'm going to add this little dish. I love the edging on it, and I always love to add seasonal hand soaps. Let me know if you're the same, but this lilac hand soap smells exactly like the tree we had growing up outside of our house. It's just so reminiscent. You know when there's that smell that reminds you of childhood or a happy memory? For me, it's definitely lilacs. We would have the windows open and I can still smell them to this day. So it definitely brings back a lot of good memories. Let me know in the comments what your favorite scent is. Moving over beside the stove, I do have this tobacco basket. I think that's what they're called, and I just love to layer this in. It kind of hides the light switches. And to change it up a little bit, I'm going to layer in this cutting board over top. I love the handle detail on this one. I think it's so pretty, and I thought this would be the perfect place to use my little scallop tray that I just got. I think it just fits in this corner so perfectly. To tie in the blue and green that we used on the island, I'm going to go in with this gorgeous green plate. I've had these for a few years. They're just plastic. And then the blue and white plate I did purchase from Dollar Tree last year. I've had this lavender plant for a few years. I did purchase this at HomeSense, and I'm trying to be more intentional when I am buying decor and reusing pieces that I've bought from years past. So that really influenced me to use the purple this year. I thought I need to reuse some of my decor, and then I also had a lot of blue from last summer, including this cute little pot. It was $3.99 from the thrift store, and I think it looks very French country, this whole little vignette here. Moving on to the stove area, I typically always add some kind of little wood stand here, and don't worry, I always remove it before I do any cooking. I thought this would be the perfect little spot for that picture. And then I have this gorgeous candle. It smells like wildflowers. I don't always burn candles in the summer. I definitely do it more in the fall and winter. But this one smelled so fresh and beautiful. I just had to light it and bring some of those cozy cottage feels to the kitchen. I would love to know how you guys are doing. I feel like I haven't chatted as much. I've been so busy, and I just am so grateful that you guys come back every week to spend some time with me, and I would love to catch up in the comments. But I'm going to add these really pretty tea towels. They match those blue plates perfectly that I used on the island. I did purchase these this year. I always love to kind of refresh my tea towels seasonally. I used this Amazing Grace sign for my spring decor, and I took it down because I wasn't sure I was going to use it for summer, but I love it so much with the soft gray, and Amazing Grace is one of my favorite songs, so I did end up putting it back up. And then I used this gorgeous little cutting board from my friend Linda. She sent that to me. I absolutely love it. I layered in a book for some height, and then I thought this would be the perfect spot for that little planter with the greenery. It's just so gorgeous, and it makes me so happy when I'm getting my coffee in the morning to see this sitting out. And the finishing little touch were these salt and pepper shakers. I was trying to find some kind of floral cup or something in purple or blue, but there was nothing that I really loved. So I'm just sticking with this clear glass mug from Dollarama. It's very simple and pretty. And then we're gonna go in and decorate this little corner. I thought I would use this scalloped basket, and I'm gonna add in one of my favorite cookbooks. This one is by Joanna Gaines. It's so elegant and pretty. I definitely need to try some recipes in there. I'm guilty, I haven't made any yet, but I love how it looks sitting on the counter. And then I'm gonna add this really pretty lavender stem. I have this little coffee canister. I just keep our currying pods in here. It's very simple and plain, which I actually love. And then I thought that this needed some kind of blue in here, so I picked out these little candlestick holders. They're very kind of chippy and cottagey looking, and added these gorgeous blue candles. I love how this little area turned out. You know, when you decorate a space and you have one area you especially love, for me, this is it. And then I'm gonna layer in this really pretty vintage looking picture. This little picture was another thrifted find. It was only $2.99, and I typically always pull this out in the spring and summer. I love it. It's just so little and cute, and I thought I would tuck this rolling pin into it. Just makes it feel very homey and welcoming. I think the sun hitting this picture is so pretty. I love golden hour. I added in a book, and then I'm gonna layer in this cute little basket that I also thrifted. I got these bowls last year, I think from Value Village, for only a few dollars each. And I'm gonna layer them together and then add a cute little pot in here. We are going to go in with our little mister now. This is the perfect little spot to tuck it into, and I love this area so much. It's so soft and pretty. I'm so happy with how it turned out. You'll have to let me know in the comments what little vignette is your favorite. I do love decorating over my fridge, so I have this basket, and I thought I would layer in this gorgeous dish. I love the scalloped edges again. I feel like that's the theme lately. And then I had this really pretty green watering can. I use this in my spring home, but thought this would really transition well into summer also. And then for a pop of purple, I'm gonna add in this really pretty sprig, and I just love how kind of rustic and wild it looks. I really love how the kitchen turned out. Sometimes when I start decorating for a new season, it takes time because I'm not quite sure what my whole vision is sometimes. And for me, summer decorating is sometimes the season that I struggle with the most. I feel like fall is my favorite as well as Christmas, but sometimes with summer, I can hit kind of a roadblock and I'm not quite sure what I want to do or where to start. So I did have a lot of fun just playing with a lot of decor that I already had and creating new kind of ideas with old pieces. I'm so excited to decorate the rest of the house for summer. Sometimes when I get one room decorated, it just gets my creative juices flowing and then I get a lot more ideas. You'll have to let me know if you're the same way. But I did purchase a few new pieces for the dining room. I got some gorgeous lampshades as well as this really pretty swan. I just have so many ideas. So I think that's going to be my next decorating video for next Monday. Let me know if that's something you guys want to see or if you have a suggestion for another room. I did want to thank you again so much for stopping by and spending some time with us. I truly look forward to hearing from each and every one of you, and it just feels like catching up with friends every week. And I always try to set out time in the evening when I do post to respond to comments. I love doing that and spending a few hours in there with you guys. It truly means so much to have your support, and I'm just so grateful and honored that you would choose to spend some time with me on my channel. And I did include a few clips of Holstein at the end eating his little snack if you want to go all the way to the end and see those. He's absolutely adorable. But again, I'm so grateful, and until the next video, friends, take care and God bless. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy you're here today for another summer decorating video. And today we're going to be decorating the dining room for summer. This look could definitely be for spring as well, but I'm just loving all of the soft purples and blues as well as the creams. It is just getting me so excited for summer. And I'll just briefly go over a few new things I got. A lot of this decor I've been collecting for a few years, but I did pick up a few new little things to add to my collection. So I'll start off with this gorgeous swan. I seen this when I was shopping at HomeSense, which is basically like a Home Goods or Marshalls. I think it's actually meant for a wine bottle, but I thought I could put some florals in there. It was so elegant and beautiful, and this was $29.99, so I did end up picking it up, and they had quite a few colors to choose from. Next, I seen these gorgeous scallop plates. They are that melamine material, so plasticky, but I love the scalloped edges, and I thought these would be so pretty to use outside if we had a barbecue. And these were $19.99, I believe, but I absolutely love that soft lavender. I could not pass up these gorgeous lampshades when I seen them. They're exactly the colors that I'm going with, and just the whole feel. They feel very cottage, French country. And these were typically $24.99, but they did have them on sale for $15 each, which I thought was such a great price. And I'm so excited to get these on my lamps. Next, I have this gorgeous little teacup set. It's actually a candle, and my sweet subscriber, who's also a friend, sent this to me last year, and I never got to use it. So I thought I would pull it out this year and get some use out of it. It's so elegant and beautiful. I've never seen anything like it when I'm out shopping, but it's just a peony scent, and you can see that the little cup is actually a candle. So this is definitely too gorgeous to burn, but I think it's going to look so pretty just sitting out. And I love the detail on the cup and the plate. It's so stunning. Aren't these cute little garden tools so adorable? I got them last year from Dollarama, and I knew I wanted to bring them out again this year. They were only a few dollars, but I love them. I also have some birds that I want to use, as well as little nests, books. I want to keep it very simple and cottagey feeling, just with a lot of the very neutral colors, some florals here, and then I do have a few little wooden risers. Okay, so I have the dining room all cleared from the spring decor. I've deep cleaned it, And I feel like sometimes there's no better feeling than when you've taken all your decor down after a season and you can do a really deep clean on the space. It feels so fresh and new, so I always love to do that. But I'm going to start by adding this really pretty eucalyptus wreath to my mirror. I always like to add a sign or a wreath. I feel like it brings a little bit of visual interest to the space, and this one is so perfect in that muted green. You guys will have to let me know in the comments if you started your summer decorating or if you still have your spring decor up. But I thought I would show you guys the lamps that I do have in here now. I've had these probably for 8 or 9 years. I love them. They're very simplistic, but they definitely have a bit of a farmhouse feel to them. So I think these new lampshades are going to be the perfect touch just to bring in a little bit more of that cottagey feel that I'm going for. I find myself in the summer really wanting to pare down my decor a little bit. We spend a lot of time at the beach and with family at the cottage, so I want to keep it really simple at home, but I was so happy to be able to update these lamps, and I'm really trying not to spend a ton of money on decor, so just by switching up the lampshades, I feel like it made such a big difference. You guys will have to let me know in the comments if you like the new lampshades. I absolutely love them, and let me know if you've ever changed yours out. I did it for the first time at Christmas. I changed my white ones to black and I loved it. So now I just always keep an eye out when I'm shopping, and like I said, these were only $15, so the deal was too good to pass up. I ended up adding these wooden risers underneath the lamps. I got these from my decor stash downstairs, and I knew I wanted to add some decor around the lamps, so I wanted them just a little bit higher. These were the perfect solution, and they kind of blend in with the top of the buffet. If you guys have been watching my channel for a while, you would have seen this beautiful bird cage. I got this from the Dublin Mercantile for $50. I think it was normally $100, and I could not pass it up. I thought it was so gorgeous. I love the color, the shape, and it's so fun to be able to add seasonal decor to this piece. I thrifted these books and ended up going and getting some paper and wrapped them to give them a little bit of a vintage feel. I ended up tying some lace on 2 of the books. I love that little added touch, and sometimes it's just the small details that can really make a statement. To kind of tie in the wreath, I'm going to go in with this lamb's ear and just drape it throughout this little bird cage. Let me know in the comments if you have bird cages that you decorate with. I have quite a few now. I've always been really drawn to them because they're so versatile. You can switch up the decor, like I said, seasonally. So I think I have 5 or 6, but I thought I would also add this adorable little bird. I love the design on it. It's just so sweet and simple for summer. You can find these little nests in the springtime and around Easter at Michael's. They're so perfect. I just nestled this next to my mama bird, and I love how cute it looks. Every time I add a piece to my vignette, I always like to step back and look at it and see if it looks complete or if it needs anything else. I felt like this was still lacking something, and I think it was color. So I went to my basement and found these gorgeous lavender pots. I've had them for a few years, and I decided to place them on either side of my lamps, and I feel like that was the perfect finishing touch for this little space. We're going to move over to my blanket ladder now. I always have a blanket ladder here. I have quite a few, but I thought this wooden one was perfect. It just has a bit of contrast. And I had this gorgeous blue waffle blanket. It's so pretty. It's perfect for the spring and summer. It's really light and airy. And I decided to drape this on the ladder just for a little pop of blue in this corner. I feel like I found so many of these hats thrifting. This was definitely a thrift find. It was only a few dollars, so I just attached it to the blanket with a safety pin, and I love how that looks, kind of just nestled on the blanket, hanging on the ladder. Let me know in the comments if you enjoy thrifting and what your favorite items to thrift for are. I would love to hear. I really enjoy thrifting for baskets, hats, books. There's probably a lot more items, but those are my main ones. But anyways, we're going to move on to the table now. I have this really pretty light blue runner, and I'm going to add a little pop of blue with this on the table. I got this from Holstein I a few years ago, but I love how soft and muted the blue is. For the centerpiece, I knew I wanted something that I could easily lift off the table if we're hosting, so I got this gorgeous bowl back in the spring. I filled it with some moss, and I thought this would be the perfect little centerpiece that I can easily lift off the table if I do end up needing more space. And I had this really pretty garland. I'm just kind of wrapping it around the bowl to look a little bit more like a wreath. I did spend a little bit of time just pulling this garland apart. I wanted it to look really wispy and natural, and I love that effect when it looks a little bit wild, like it came from the field. Next, I'm going to layer in this swan. When I first placed it on here, I wasn't sure what I thought, but as I continued kind of adding a few pieces, I thought it looked so gorgeous. To bring a little bit of that lavender color in here, I'm going to tuck this in. I think this is where a wine bottle would go, but I love the addition of the lavender. And then I thought, kind of to give it a garden feel, I would add these little tules, and I think they look so adorable just nestled in with the lavender. It's always fun to try new things. I want to encourage you guys to take pieces that you already have or even new pieces and just play around and see what you really like. Part of the fun for me of decorating is experimenting, moving things around, trying them in new places. That always brings me so much joy and I feel so much inspiration. So let me know if you also enjoy playing with your decor and switching things up. I did want to bring in some placemats here. I love to add placemats to the table, and I thought these ones were perfect because they tie in the lampshades as well as the straw hat. I've had these for quite a while. They hold up so well. I think I have a set of 12, but I absolutely love them, and I'm going to layer in those really gorgeous lavender plates on top. I don't mind eating off these melamine plates. I think they're so pretty, and like I said, they're perfect for taking outside. You don't have to worry about them breaking. I did want to show you guys a glimpse of what the lamps look like turned on with those lampshades. And the weather was kind of on and off today. It was raining, then it was sunny, and I feel like this brought such a cozy feel just to have my lamps on with the candles going. I absolutely love this. And sometimes even waking up in the morning when it's still dark out, turning your lamps on just brings such a cozy feel to the day. Next, we're going to decorate this little table. This is right by the back door, and this was my mom's. I always love to add some decor pieces to this. So I have this gorgeous gold candlestick. I added this really pretty blue candle, and then to tie in, I have another really sweet little bird cage. I got this one from Michael's last year, and I decided this was a perfect spot to add my little teacup and saucer. I love it. So thank you so much, friend, for sending that to me. This gorgeous floral sketched wall decor was in my spring decor. I used this in my front entryway. I thought I would repurpose it and use it in this room, and it's a perfect little spot for this corner. I feel like it ties in everything together so well, and I'm loving the little pops of gold mixed in with the cottage decor. I feel like the weather was so crazy today here in Ontario. It was a little bit of everything. It was raining and overcast, and the sun would come out, but it was very mild. So I've been so grateful for that. It's been over 20 degrees Celsius, which for here is amazing. I've been sitting out on the porch a lot with Holstein, going for walks and just enjoying all this gorgeous weather. The winters are always so long here in Canada, so once we start getting the nice weather, I want to be outside as much as possible, and I feel like Holstein's the same way. I am going to include some clips of him at the end, but I'm showing an overview of how everything turned out, and I wanted to thank you so much for stopping by and spending some time with us. Until the next video, friends, take care and God bless. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I am so happy you're here for a summer decorating video. It feels like I haven't talked to you in so long. I wanted to give an overview of my kitchen just because I have decorated this for summer already, and I'm going to continue this theme throughout our home using a lot of greens and purples and blues. I absolutely love how the kitchen looks, and it feels so cozy, almost like a cottage feel, which was what I was going for. And I love the blues in the summer. I feel like it's so peaceful and relaxing. I did carry this theme over to the dining room as well, and I will link both the kitchen and the dining room decorate with me videos in my description box in case you did miss them. But you can see the kitchen and the dining room really flow well together with the same color schemes and that very muted palette that I'm loving for summer. So today we're going to be decorating the living room, which is just off the kitchen and dining room. So that's why I really like to keep the spaces cohesive because everything is so open concept. A lot of this decor I've thrifted and been collecting for years. There's really only a few new pieces that I either thrifted or got from HomeSense this year. I really wanted to reuse a lot of what I've had and just style it in different ways. I always find that so fun. One of the new items I did pick up was this little glass colander. I think that's what they're called. I love the floral pattern on this and that sage green. It was $7.99, and this was such a perfect little piece for using on my bookcases. I also picked up these lavender stems. They were $9.99, and I love the little pots they came in. I thought they were so adorable. And then my sweet sister gifted me these baby's breath stems. They're so realistic and gorgeous. I cannot wait to style those. And throughout the spring and summer, I've been collecting books when I go thrifting in lots of different colors that I'm using for my summer decor. And most of these books I got for around 50 cents. I had to show these adorable little ducks. I got them last year from the thrift store. I think they were only 50 cents each, so I cannot wait to use those this year. And here's baby Holstein. He just got his hair cut for summer, so he's looking a little bit different than he normally does. He's usually a lot fuller and fluffier, but this is going to feel so nice for him for summer. And we plan to go to the cottage in July, so this will keep him nice and cool. So he's going to have a snack while we decorate. I have my wildflower candle burning in the kitchen and it's making the whole house smell amazing. But today, like I said, we're decorating the living room. I've removed all of my spring decor from this room and I love how open and airy it looks. We did have the sectional together and in the springtime, I decided to separate it and I feel like it makes the room look so much bigger and more open. So I'm going to keep it separated for summer and I'm so excited to style our bookcases. These are Billy bookcases that I got from IKEA. I would love to do built-ins, but it's super expensive, so I'm going to work with what we have. And I think I'm going to start off by styling the mantle. This is typically where I always like to start when I decorate. And I did want to keep it quite simple, so I had this gorgeous wispy wreath. It's very soft and feminine, and I thought I would start by layering that on my mirror. I really wanted you to see the detail on these bookends. I purchased these many years ago and I always bring them out, typically in the summer and the spring, but I love these. They're wood. They look really rustic and distressed. And like I said, I wanted to keep the mantle very simple, so I thought these would be perfect on either side of the mirror. I don't know about you guys, but I really love to keep my decor more minimalistic in the spring and summer. I think because I go so heavy in the fall and winter, so I'm really focusing on keeping things really light and airy in here. And I got this gorgeous vase last summer from the thrift store for only a few dollars. I love the shape. It feels very French country cottage decor, and that's definitely the feel that I'm going for with lots of books and vases and lavender stems. I do have a lot of risers. This little one I got from Michael's and I love how chippy and distressed it is. I had these cups wrapped almost in a rattan coating and I thought they would look so adorable on that riser. And then I had this chicken wire basket. I love just how light it is. I thought I would add some lavender stems to this just to bring a little bit of that purple color into the shelves. And then I have this really chippy clock. This is one of my favorites from Michael's and I decided to add that to this shelf as well. This basket was a garage sale find. I think it was only $1 or $2, but I love it. It's so pretty. And I decided to layer in this doily. You guys will have to let me know if you use doilies in your decor. I know a lot of people think it's very grandma-like, but I do love that grandma chic decor also. And I think it's so pretty for just layering. It brings a really soft, romantic feel to the space. I love using candles in my decor, especially if I don't have a lot of a certain color and I don't want to go out and buy all new decor. I'll just go and get some candlesticks. They're very inexpensive and they do bring in the color that you're trying to use more of. So I love using candles. I had this little bud vase in this gorgeous green color and then this cute little bird. I used quite a few of these in my spring decor, but I think birds are great. They carry so well into all the seasons. This print is one of my absolute favorites. I got it from Michael's a few years ago. It looks like flowers pressed between book pages. It's just so gorgeous and it makes me think of when I used to read and press flowers in my books when I was younger, so I absolutely love it. I'm gonna layer in a book and one of my little bunnies that I used at Easter. Again, I think bunnies are something that you can use year-round. And then I have this gorgeous gold candlestick and I added a sage green candle, incorporating a lot of those greens and blues and purples, and I just love how everything's coming together. I was out thrifting in Millbank, which is a little town close by, and I found these gorgeous, almost plate looking rattan pieces. I'm not even quite sure what they are, but I like that it broke up some of the white on the bookshelves. And I really do love to use baskets, rattan, all those warm colors. I feel like it really lends itself to the cottage core look also. It's a great space filler, and baskets are something that you can really find at thrift stores in a large quantity. So I always have a lot of them on hand, and I really feel like they do warm up the space. I had these wooden bells from Cosign's, a local greenhouse, and I typically use these around Christmas, but I think the wood tone is gorgeous and it works really any time of year. It adds so much warmth to the shelves, and I did really want them to feel cozy and cohesive. To bring in a little bit of blue, I'm going to add my Bath & Body Works candle, and I'm still on the hunt for more books. I think they look so gorgeous on the bookshelves and make it feel a little bit more authentic because they really are meant to be bookshelves, even though I use them for styling. I decided to add in a few plates as well as another little lavender stem. I feel like I've missed you guys so much. I haven't posted in a few weeks. Life has just been so busy, and I feel like in the summer it's a little bit harder to stay on a posting schedule just because you want to be outside enjoying the weather, and we have so many birthdays and activities in the summer, so I'm trying to get back on track. But you guys will have to let me know what you've been up to if you have any big plans for the summer. I just feel like summer is going to fly by. I can't believe it's already June, but just so many exciting things to look forward to. Let me know in the comments what you're most excited about. I have quite a few pictures in my decor stash, but this picture is one of my favorites from Michaels. I love the bee design on it, and these lavender florals in it look so gorgeous. It definitely screams summer to me. Again, I'm going to go in with a candlestick and holder. I think it's so pretty, and another little thrifted basket that I think I got for around 50 cents. I don't know about you guys, but I love to garage sale. Even if I'm not really buying anything, I think it's so fun to go and browse and see what deals are out there. And I even thrift more in the summer. I find I love the thrill of the thrift. I think it's so exciting to go and not know what you're going to find. There's always a hidden treasure. And I love that a lot of the pieces are unique and not what you'd see in everybody else's homes. So let me know if you love thrifting and garage sailing, and if you found any amazing items so far this summer. I'm really loving how the bookshelves are turning out. Very simple, using a lot of what I've already had, but styling it in different ways. And typically summer is the season that I'm the least excited about decorating for. I don't know about you guys, but I live in Canada, so we don't do the Americana decor. I'm just already thinking about my fall decor. So summer for me is not something I typically look forward to, but I'm loving how everything is looking this year. You guys will have to let me know in the comments what you think. I was trying to think of what I could add to this space here, and then I remembered I had these really cute hats. They were from a garage sale, but they were originally from White Rose, which is a craft store here in Canada. It's no longer in business, but I thought they were so pretty. And in this corner, I decided to tuck in this sage pillow. I've had this for a few summers also, and then I have my little helper Holstein. I had to stop and give him cuddles. He's always close by when I'm decorating, and he's always a little off after he gets his hair cut, so he needs some extra attention. We're going to move over to our ottoman now. I got this large wicker basket from the thrift store also. I believe it was $20 and I got it last year, but it was so large. I thought that was such a great deal. I really wanted to layer in this baby's breath. To me, it's so soft and romantic. And to bring in a little touch of that blue, I had this vintage looking candle holder that I tied a lace ribbon to and added a soft blue candle. I think it's so pretty. And then the finishing touch is this gorgeous bird. I really love to decorate with birds. I love bird watching, so I thought that was a perfect little touch, and I absolutely love this shot with little Holstein sleeping in the background. When I was downstairs in the basement, I seen these gorgeous florals in this vase. I use these in the spring on my mantle, but I thought they would be so pretty on this little table here, and I love just the pop of color they bring to this corner. I wanted to add a soft blanket to the couch. Holstein loves to snuggle with these, and I feel like they add so much texture and warmth. I had these gorgeous gray and white striped pillows, and then these pillows I got probably 4 or 5 years ago from Cottage, and I thought the lavender touches were just perfect on both of my couches, and I love how everything turned out. It just came together so beautifully, very simple, but ties together with the rest of the house so well, and I cannot wait to enjoy some summer days reading some books in this space, having a tea, and just enjoying all the joys of summer. So until the next video, friends, thank you for spending time with us. I love you all so much. Take care and God bless. Hi sweet friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy you're here for another summer decorating video, and today we're going to be styling the front entryway. This is definitely one of my favorite rooms to decorate seasonally, and I am so excited to add some cottage touches. I wanted to give a little overview of our front entryway, especially if you're new to my channel and you've never seen it before, but I love that I can have a bench and a shelf and this gorgeous hall table here. It's so fun to style this space, and typically I always do have lamps on this front entryway table. I love the ambiance that they bring, and I think it's so cozy to have them lit in the evenings. It's a little bit of a breezy day. I have the door open and a nice breeze is coming through, so let's get decorating. I did purchase this really pretty scallop tray this year from HomeSense, and I have one in my kitchen as well because I love them so much. I think they're very cottagey and beautiful. And to it, I'm going to add this really distressed vase. This was $29.99. I love the shape as well as the handles. I think this is going to be so gorgeous with some florals. When I was shopping at Michael's recently, I came across these really pretty blue florals. I thought they were so realistic looking. I ended up picking up 4 of these. That's all they really had. And I knew that I really wanted to also incorporate these gorgeous white flowers. These were from Michael's also. And everything right now is on a huge sale. So if you're looking for any florals, now's the time to stock up. But I thought this combination of the blue and white and green would look so perfect for summer. I really love creating various heights when I make floral arrangements in my vases. I feel like it adds a lot of visual interest and makes everything look a little bit more authentic and real. I'm really glad I decided to layer in that eucalyptus stem also. I think the green kind of breaks things up and makes it feel a little bit more natural, but the addition of the blue bells are my absolute favorite. I think they're so pretty and just add a very French country feel. You guys will have to let me know in the comments where you like to purchase your florals from. Here in Canada, we are quite limited, but let me know in the comments if you have some good recommendations. To add a touch of elegance to this space, I'm going to go in with these gold candlesticks and these pretty blue candles. They match the florals perfectly, and I really think they add a touch of elegance to the space and make it feel a little bit romantic also. As you guys can see, my mirror is silver as well as my lamps, and I think the combination of silver and gold, any kind of mixing of metals, is so pretty. Let me know in the comments if you like to mix your metals when you're decorating also, but I'm going to add this sweet little bird. I could not resist. I think he's so cute. I did want to conceal those lamp cords, so I'm going to go in with these baskets that I've had for quite a while and just add them to the bottom of this hall table. You can see my little helper. He's watching all the traffic go by. But I love the addition of these baskets. I felt like it needed a little pop of blue under here, so I bought a 2-pack of these pillows. It was 2 for $30, and I love the scalloped edges and the white trim. I think these are so perfect. If they had have had more, I probably would have purchased 4. I think they're so stunning, and I absolutely love that shade of blue. I didn't have a blanket that kind of fit the color scheme I was going for, so I tucked in a tea towel, and I always do that with baskets. You don't have to use a blanket, you can use a tea towel or a doily, and I feel like that really finishes off the space and makes everything blend together so seamlessly. We're gonna move over to this little farmhouse stool. I got this from Michael's, I've had it for a few years, and I thought the perfect little addition to this table would be this watering can. I don't know what the weather's been like where you guys are, but here it's been super odd, very hot and humid, and then rain, and then sun, and it's just been all over the place. It's finally getting a little bit more normal with sun and not such humid temps, but you'll have to let me know in the comment what the weather's been like where you are. Next, we're moving over to my coat rack. I added a really pretty summer scarf. That was my mom's. I love how flowy and dainty it is. And I added a jean jacket. This basket I tend to always place in the same spot. It fits so perfectly here. And to it, I'm going to add some baby's breath florals. These were from Michael's, and I love to combine different florals when I'm decorating. But to keep things cohesive, I do keep with the same color scheme. So I'm using a lot of whites and blues and greens, and that way everything just flows together really well. So moving over to this 3-tier shelf, I've probably had this for over 10 years, but I love it so much. It's one of my favorite little areas to decorate. I'm going to add this hat that I thrifted just to bring in a little bit of that cottage feel. And then I created this other floral arrangement that mimics the one on the hall table. I did put it in this really gorgeous white pitcher, and I love the French country feel it brings. If you missed last week's video, I went thrifting and I found this cute little basket. I love the shape of the handle, so I wanted to incorporate that into the space. I had some doilies. I love adding doilies to my decor. It feels very cottage-like to me, so I layered this white one and this cream-colored one, and I love how it looks kind of just draped on the basket. I can't believe that we're almost into July. I am so looking forward to this weekend because it's a Canada Day long weekend here. So lots of fun things planned. I wanted to show you guys this gorgeous picture. I got this in Bayfield at one of the little shops there when me and my husband went to the beach a few weeks ago, probably now. And it was $19.99. I thought it was so pretty. And then to this shelf, I also wanted to add this little tray. This is from HomeSense, and I love the scalloped edging also. I had to add another little bird. I got these gold ones in the summer. And then to bring in a touch of lavender, I'm going to add this really pretty stem I have. I love this little picture so much. I think it's so pretty. I always struggle finding prints, especially here in Canada. We just don't have as much variety as you guys, so I'm so glad I snagged that one. And here's my little helper. He loves that the door is open, the breeze is coming in. He's such an outdoor dog. He loves to sit on the front porch, so I knew you guys would love this little clip of him. We're going to move on to the last shelf. When I was out shopping, I found this really pretty box. I love the leather handle there, and it was $9.99. I did purchase 2, and I thought these would be so pretty for fall on my bookshelves. But again, they're so neutral. You can really use them in any space for any season. And to it, I'm adding a little bird cage, and I think this area turned out so adorable. Just a few simple cottage touches, and to me, it's so welcoming and cozy. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but there's some birds chirping in the background. There's a mama and her babies. They built a nest on my neighbor's house. So it's just been so much fun to see them and listen to them. But I'm going to move on to the powder room door. I have this really pretty wreath. It's in all the colors that I've been using, the blues and the purples, the greens. I love to add wreaths to this door. I feel like it breaks up the starkness of the white on the door, and it ties the whole room in together. The last area to decorate is above my bench here. I'm going to add a wreath, and when I was out thrifting, I found this really delicate, simple print. I love it with the horse and buggies and the church or the house. I think it's so pretty, and the branches, everything about it just spoke to me, and I thought this little area would be the perfect spot to showcase it. I think it's just so stunning and definitely brings a bit of a cottage feel into the space. I'm definitely trying to be more selective when I do go shopping, and spending less money is always a win. So, thrift shopping for me is just so fun. You never know what treasures you're going to find. I'm going to layer in that other blue pillow on this bench just to tie everything together. And of course, my little helper, he loves this bench. He loves to sit up here sometimes when I'm in the front entryway. But I really wanted to style a tray on this bench also, and I may not always keep it here, but I think it fills in a little bit of space. And I had this gorgeous tray from the thrift store also. It was around $5. And to it, I'm going to add this lantern and this adorable little bunny. When I was shopping one of my favorite stores, I found this coaster. It says, "What a friend we have in Jesus." I love it, and it's so true. Jesus is definitely the best friend we could ever have, and he loves you and me so much. I thought that was a perfect addition to the space, and I absolutely love how the front entryway turned out. I cannot wait to show you guys how the whole house came together, including the front porch. It's just so pretty and calming, and I've been enjoying it so much. It's probably my favorite summer decor I've ever done, and I think I'm going to be sticking with the blues for summer. Something about them is so peaceful to me. I really hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I am so grateful that you come back every week and spend some time with us. It truly sometimes still doesn't feel real that I have this YouTube channel and then all of you as friends. It's my passion, and I love being able to share my decorating with all of you, and I so enjoy hearing from you every week and reading all your sweet comments. It definitely brings me so much joy. And just know that you're all such a big part of my life, and I think about you all and just feel so grateful to be able to chat with you every week. So until the next video, friends, I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I will see you on the next one. Love you all so much. God bless. Hi sweet friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy you're here today, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing our 2024 summer home tour. I am so excited. I did want to take the time to wish all my Canadian friends a very happy Canada Day. You can see all my patriotic touches throughout the front entryway here. I added some flags and lots of red and white decor just to make it feel very special for Canada Day. I know a lot of my viewers celebrate July 4th in America, so that's next weekend. So I hope you all have a very special holiday as well. And I'm loving how the front porch turned out. Everything is very lush and full. All my flowers really took off this year. And I think it's because we had a lot of humid weather really early on in the summer, as well as lots of rain. So everything looks very lush and full and beautiful, which I absolutely love. I thought this little clip of Holstein was so adorable. He was sitting out, the sun was shining, the birds were chirping, and he was trying his hardest not to fall asleep, but his eyes kept shutting. I thought it was absolutely adorable. So I want to welcome you all to our home. I'm going to start with our front entryway. I absolutely love how the space turned out. It's very light and airy, and I was going for a very cottage French country feel to the space, so I wanted to use a lot of blues and creams and whites. This entryway table turned out so pretty with the scallop tray and the blue candlesticks, the pops of white from the florals, and that adorable little bird I popped into the tray there. To the left of the entryway table, I do have our coat rack here. It's very light and breezy also. I added a basket with some baby's breath as well as a scarf and a jean jacket. And then we have our powder room off of our entryway. I love this big gorgeous wreath I added. It has pops of purple and blue and white. It really does tie in a lot of the florals in the entryway. And on this little 3-tier stand, I wanted to keep it very simple but make it feel very homey and welcoming. And this picture as well as this cute little basket with the doilies are the perfect touch. This little picture adds a touch of vintage, which I think is so cute. And again, I kept it very neutral, just with the pops of purple and blue, but using a lot of creams and browns and taupes. Moving over to our bench area, I always love to add a few touches of decor here. I tied in the blue with the pillow, and I just wanted to add a lantern. I found this picture when I was out thrifting. It was only $4, and I love the scene with the horse and buggies and the church. We're going to move down our hallway into our main living space down here, and I love that everything's very open concept. We have the living room, the kitchen, and the dining room, but I thought I would start off with the living room. I think this space turned out really pretty. I separated our sectional into 2 couches, and it makes the room feel so much bigger. And here's little Holstein sunbathing. He loves the spot, and I wanted to share a little clip of him barking. I thought that was so sweet. That's his bark. I think he's trying to be intimidating because he heard something in the neighborhood, but I just thought that was so adorable. I'll start off with the mantle. I have this really pretty wreath here with some florals on it, just light and airy. And then I added some corbels or bookends to either side of that mirror. Just wanted to keep everything very simplistic and simple for summer. I tend to go very heavy with my decor in the fall and winter, so summer is a nice time to take a break and keep things really light. These cute little ducks I found at the thrift store. I think they were only $1 each, as well as that really pretty blue vase. Moving on to the second shelf here, I had these gorgeous glasses, a clock, and a lavender stem, keeping things very French country, which I love. I also thrifted this big basket. I believe it's a fish basket, but you guys will have to let me know. And I added some thrifted books, a little doily, and this gorgeous gold bird. This wildflower print I got from Michael's a few years ago. I think it's so stunning, and it just reminds me of reading and being in a big field of flowers. I love the little bunny as well as the gold candlestick. And then on the bottom here, I have this little bike, and I found these vintage, almost rattan trays, and someone told me that they're paper plate holders. So I thought that was so interesting. I love those, and I think they were only 50 cents each. Moving over to our second bookcase, I had these old wooden bells, and I typically use them at Christmas, but I thought, why not use them for summer decor? I think they look so pretty. On the second shelf, I have this vintage looking book. I added some plates, and I also added that thrifted bowl. If you guys watched my thrift with me, I did place it there. This shelf is one of my favorites with the books and just the pop of lavender as well as the blue from the candle. I also love the incorporation of that sage green. It's all very calming and relaxing and truly feels like summer decor to me. I don't know about you guys, but I really feel like I slow down in the summer and I want to appreciate just sitting outside more. I want to be outside as much as I can. So adding all these really pretty cottage touches just feels very fresh and pretty. In this corner, I did add some hats on the wall. I have this little seating area. I added a pillow to it just to fill in that corner. And then on the couch, I just added a few pillows, not as many as I normally do, but I absolutely love the detail in this lavender pillow. The embroidery is so gorgeous. We do have the big ottoman in the center of the room, and I had this big basket. I thrifted it not long ago, maybe last summer. It was $20, but it is a large basket. I added some baby's breath, a bird, and this very vintage looking candle holder with some lace around it. And I think it turned out so pretty. We're gonna pan over now to the dining room and the kitchen, and I cannot wait to share these spaces also. So if I'm being completely honest, we rarely use our dining room. We don't eat in here basically at all unless we have company. So I can add pretty dishes and we're not kind of using it on a daily basis. So I know it's not practical for everybody, but for us, it works really well. I do have our buffet set up here and this turned out so pretty. I think these scalloped lampshades are my favorite and really bring in that cottage feel, as well as this bird cage where I added a bird, some books, and this really pretty nest. In the corner of this room, I did want to add something, so I added this ladder. I draped a blue blanket over it, and then I had this really pretty hat. It reminds me of Anne of Green Gables. I added that, and to me, this little nook just makes my heart happy. You guys will have to let me know what you think of our centerpiece here and how this tablescape turned out. To me, it's very fresh and perfect for summer. I love these plates, the scalloped edges. They are melamine, so perfect for taking outside, not having to worry that they're gonna break. And this swan is one of my favorite pieces. The centerpiece is very different from anything I normally do. You'll have to let me know in the comments if you like it. In this little area right by the back door, I have this gold vintage looking framed sketch of florals that I love. And then to tie in some blue, I added a candlestick. And then isn't this little tea and saucer cup set adorable? It's actually a candle. One of my sweet subscribers, who's also my friend, sent it to me and I absolutely love it. I've been having so much fun decorating my home for summer, and I feel like decorating is my happy place. It brings me so much joy and even more joy that I can share it with you all. So I really hope you've been enjoying my summer decor series, but we're going to move on to the kitchen now. I also kept it quite simple in here. I added this tray with some florals and some eggs and a cute little bird. I do love to add table settings to my island. I know a lot of people don't do that, but I think they're so pretty and I can easily move them if we have company or want to sit here. But to me, the star of the island are these really pretty dishes. I got them from the thrift store for 50 cents each. They're so feminine and pretty, and I could not pass up 50-cent plates. I've really enjoyed going thrifting lately and finding unique treasures. So above my microwave, I have this amazing grace sign. I've had that for years. It was from Michael's, and to me, it's just very special. I love it. In this corner by the stove, it does feel very cottagey to me. I think the addition of all the prints and the blues, just very French country and romantic. I love the scalloped edges of this tray. And I think these mitts, oven mitts, are so pretty with the florals. I did want to show you guys this kettle. It has these swans on the back. I think it's very 80s or 90s. I'm not sure when that pattern was popular, but I just kind of hide it. And on the stove, I do typically have some kind of candle burning to make the house smell nice. This one has notes of meadow greens, honeysuckle, and bluebonnet. By my little Keurig station, I found this really pretty planter this year. I love the pops of blue. I added some greenery to it. And in this corner, I added my Magnolia Table cookbook. I'm so guilty because I've never actually made any recipes in this book, but I love how it looks just tucked in this corner. But my favorite spot has to be this area. To me, it's so pretty and just very simplistic. I love this print. It was a thrifted print, and I did thrift a lot of my prints this year. I was looking for more vintage looking pieces, so I think the thrift store is a great option and you cannot beat the prices. I do typically add something to the top of my fridge to fill in this space. I had this thrifted basket, I added in a scalloped bowl, and this adorable little watering can. You guys will have to let me know in the comments which room was your favorite. I don't know which one's mine. I kind of love how they all work together. Everything flows really well in my opinion. I love when I'm standing in my kitchen, I can see right into my dining room and the back patio, as well into my living room. So it's very open concept, which I really love. I really hope you guys have enjoyed my summer 2024 home tour. I'm going to make a tea and I've really been enjoying this one. It's very fruity and light, which is perfect for summer. It's the Lipton Herbal Tea Summer Fruits Blend. If you've never tried it, it's so good. But until the next video, friends, take care. God bless.